Hello everybody. Wow, spent hours doing this, hours and hours and hours, looking at what you're left to see and try and break it down, or just look at it in a different light, different brightness, inverted. When you're looking at it like that for hours, you can see that somebody else or something else is there. You can see. Anyway, it's just a bit frustrating because to actually explain it back to you, it's just some squiggles on a screen, and I'd be going, well, I'm going to try and do it, but it's like, well, do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that squiggle moving and stuff like that? But and you've changed the colour because you've got to, because it's very dull. I've tried to do this. I don't know if everybody can see, but I think they masked it out. I don't know where it quite goes, but to me there's a line there. Here, it's blurred. When that person walks to here, you kind of lose them when you slow down. It's like they disappear out of the frames. Do you see that? When you slow it down and slow it down and slow it down, they're just... I don't really see anybody female-like, to be honest, but whoever's captured that differently, I don't know what they're doing, because I've tried to break it down and change it just to get that, bring colours out and stuff, and they get to about here and then they sort of disappear. But you'll see in a minute that I can just about follow them, but they look further away. Maybe they are a few steps away, I suppose, but to me it just looks like this bit here's been masked. Maybe it's just the way that the light comes across, but light's light, isn't it? That's darker. See, they kind of just walk out of the... You can just see them go through. And again, I had to play with it over and over again just to get that person in the bit past. You see, I'm going to start playing with it. There. They're there. There they go. So again, I don't really see anybody female walking, to be honest, myself. They sort of disappeared out the frame again. Ah, there they are. Managed to get them in the frame here. So it's a bit difficult to say who that person is for me. Someone with a better managed to do it a bit differently might see, but I don't know. I've always had a feeling from the beginning. But anyway, I don't want to say anything against Armchair Detective because I love what he does, and I've been following him for weeks and weeks and weeks, and there you go, you can see that person, but it's so difficult. They're completely blurry when they get to the defined bit. They're blurry. So there's me trying to just, because you never know, you might just get that frame when they're there, but I just couldn't do it, and I'd slowed this down times 10. It just wasn't happening for me. But I don't know if everybody else can see it. It kind of looks... You know, everything else in this picture's moving, you know, like the lights on there and bits in the trees are moving, but this never moves. Wouldn't you think this would move? This is why I wonder whether they've masked it. So you just can't quite tell. And these lights and things are going on. Yeah. And then I blew up. Again, we're at the car. This is the truck here, and this is the wheelbase of the truck here, and that's the light on in the truck through the trees. This is a different saturation. There's his light on. There's the wheel, the base of the wheel, and I've started to look at that. I mean, you can actually see that person almost. You can see it's a face. When it's not saturated, it looks like Chris Watts, but when it's saturated, I don't know anymore who that looks like now. But I think, I mean, I think, I can't tell, there seems to be a face here and someone else. There's the face. See his face. I thought the face was here, but this way around, is this another face here and there's a child in between? The child's on the other side of this person, and he's picking them from them. It takes hours to do this, because there's some kind of child there, but there's a face there. Do you see it? And the face moves a little bit. Because don't forget, I'm slowing down just a couple of seconds. There's that sort of image there, like almost with an arm out. Not very big though, can't see much hair. And he comes in. And this is moving independently to him. And in fact, if you slow the footage down, you can actually see it coming in. So that's the light on in his truck. There's the wheelbase. There he is. Well, they are. I don't know anymore. I'm getting more confused about what is and everything. Just trying to blow it up more and more. Just to, sometimes blowing it up because it's so out of focus. Really, you know, it's not defined, is it? That slowing it down sometimes makes it worse, but slowing down, speeding up, slowing down manually is the only way to sort of see it, is just whiz through it and mess around with it. Sometimes going faster, you can just see this, because obviously I've repeated it, you can see the sequence. So this is where the video the other day with the shadow under the car. And it's quite amazing that on this inverted it does show up. It doesn't show everything up that as well, but it shows up all the shadows moving under here very well, see? So you can see that that's a separate shadow. But unfortunately, it doesn't quite get him whizzing in. It only gets him when he's there, because it's blurry, isn't it? And then, come on, move on, there you go. And then you can see that there's something there, and there's him. So there's two things there. See? But I'm not sure if that's a face, because it's about the same size as his. But there's something else there as well. It's so strange how it picks it up like this, but you can't see it very easily at all on the original. There he is. Or they are, should I say. Yeah, zoomed it in a little bit. It's just so desperate to make sure that you can see. See, there's this face. There's that person. But it looks like they've got long hair. But it looked like Chris Watts before, so I just think that maybe it's just the way sometimes it makes it look. And on the black, you know, the actual original, all this is moving around, and you don't really see that in this. So annoying. See there, I think there's a child. And him. Because I'm whizzing backwards and forwards here. Wonder if you can just see it. It just looks like, well, first of all it looks like there's a child, and then it looks like there's a face on the top, but either way there is somebody else there because of the shadow. Whether there's 2 or 3 people there. There. It's getting past. It's so difficult doing this. Now he's got, or they got, I don't know. Now it doesn't look like Chris Watts. But there's definitely something here moving separately to this. This is now slowed down by 10 and saturated, and it's still extremely difficult to see. But there is someone else there. How many people do you think are there? What do you see? Because there's the face, and the face moves out the way in a minute. See? It's kind of moving there, look. For me, someone's got hair down there and their eyes are here. There's the child. Or there's somebody there. Really looks like an arm comes forward there, doesn't it? But anyway, I've tried to show you that footage in a bit more detail. There's definitely something going on here. There's definitely 1 or 2, and there looks like a child, and yeah. Lots of people have been watching Armchair Detective, and I never professed to say that shadow was mine. My find. In fact, someone wrote to me and said that they were the one that found it, but and passed it on. But I only made the video to show that Armchair Detective was correct about there being another shadow there, because he's saying, if you don't believe it, if you don't believe it. So I did the video to show that I did believe it, I could see it, and there's definitely somebody else there. And I just don't understand when you can see that there's at least 2 people, and I don't even know which ones or who they are now, in that frame there, that the police haven't seemed to have looked into this footage. I don't understand why, with all this Vivint thing, that with the microphone or a camera at the door, that it wouldn't have caught up, but then it looks a bit like it's blurred out. Anyway, what do you think then? And I'm sure you'll let me know if you feel that you can see something yourself. And also thank you for everybody for all the comments on the other posts there. This one, where is it? That one there. There's been loads and loads of comments on there, so thanks very much everybody. And yes, it is a bit strange, isn't it, when you can see a shadow. Unfortunately the footage isn't good enough to show you it as well as you'd like it, but hopefully you can see that there seems to be somebody else there. Somebody else there, moving independently with a shadow. And I'm just quite surprised that the police wouldn't wanted to have looked into this a bit more. Anyway, thanks very much again for watching.